Okay, we've added our recipe. Now, BrewDay can tell you what that looks like. So, all your stuff stored. You're happy with it. You're happy with your volumes. Once you've done that, you click on BrewSheet, and uh, it'll, the first page. This is like it's taken you to the last setting, so all the pages will do that. So, first page, you'll see a list of additions. Water, yeast, malt, hops. Here you can check them off if you want as you're going through them. You've got a mash timer here, so if you've got a longish mash, you can click this and it'll start. Go on to the first step first. You can move through the steps as well as back through them or to reset. So full timer looks slightly different. There's a countdown. All of them are counting down. Something similar though. 80 minutes overall. First edition is at 20 minutes. Sorry, 60 minutes here in 20 minutes time, and then you've got your last edition. So that's there. Whirlpool timer. Something similar. Um, Finally, your brew day readings. Now, what I've done here is I've tried to calculate these according to initially they're down to your equipment profile and your ingredients, but as you're adding the readings, uh, these will become more and more accurate. Alright, so if I record my post mash gravity to being 1070, alright, you can see that post mash gravity changes accordingly. I add 1050 to the estimated post mash gravity, you'll see this creeps up. Post pour gravity 1060. Oops, let's forget that zero. Never get that lucky. Okay, 1060, and let's just say that's probably the same. Post pour gravity is just take you through the definitions of these. So post mash is just after the mash when the grains have been removed. Doesn't really matter for the gravity, it does matter for the mash volume. Post sparge is in the kettle after the sparging but before boiling. So post boil is in the kettle after the boil and after the top up liquor has been added with the sort of evaporation, hop and cooling loss taken out of the equation. So basically once you've cooled down the wort to room temperature before you transfer it into the fermenter, and this is just the fermenter, what goes into the fermenter. So these will likely be quite similar, whereas the volume here will be different. So you just might want to record the volume into the fermenter here. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to say we got 16 out. Let's say we got 32 sparging. We got 27. You see these are all changing as we go along, because they're using these readings to calculate things. And finally, the FE volume is 20. Let's say 24. 2. Okay. You can also add pH here, pH readings if you wish. You can do refractometer readings here, convert them into specific gravity. You can just either click outside or press the calculate button, basically do the same thing. And this is your adding your SG reading. Once this is all done, if I click on edit recipe and I go back to the readings page, you see these are all filled in. So it's a bit more of a useful way. Normally you'd have to press a button here and add them like that. So this is just a sort of shortcut on BrewDay to faffing around with these buttons here. You can see there's some readings data on the chart here. Now it's not at the moment showing up as particularly different, but when you're going through BrewDay, when you add the data to the post barge, it will actually take a reading of that particular time, so it'll look a lot more impressive as it is at the moment. I'm just going to tweak these to be post boil, so that's 19, fermenter, say that's 20, quick brew day, oops, 20. Okay, these will all sort automatically by date, so as when you're adding them, they should show up like that. And now you can see that information is showing up on here. That's your gravity readings. Obviously, the temperature readings aren't showing up at the moment because there's no data in there. I'm going to put my first temperature reading in. We're going to ferment a little bit hot here. That's not hot. We're going to ferment at 19. So, and as you go along brew day, you'll add a. This is showing up in the middle here just because the time it's showing up as right now, which is 17:11. I'm actually just going to change that to 20:11, and I'm just going to change it to 28th, so the day afterwards. And we're just going to say that's 20 degrees, and I'm going to say that's fully fermented out. It's a quick one. So 10:0, 10:10, let's say 10:12. All right. So now you'll see the temperature has dropped down from here to here. Oops, that's not right. 27. Oh, okay, that's gone. Yeah, so that's fine. That's gone down, and you've got the gravity reading here has changed. Wait a minute. So, oh yeah, okay. I've got these the wrong way around. So, 10, 6, 10. Whoops. 10, 12. Going to do that as well. Okay, so we've got our reading dropping down here. We've got gravity going down. So all of this gives you an idea about attenuation. So if I go to the attenuation chart here, you've got predicted and measured attenuation. So it's actually a bit higher, 3% difference. That will show up on here, 3% difference. You've got measured versus predicted ABV, target versus actual efficiency. You've got gravity readings here, measured versus predicted. If there's a big difference between these two, then it normally means you have to tweak your equipment a little bit. So you really want the gravity and predicted volumes to be around about the same. So this is a big differences. You're probably getting something wrong somewhere. Could be the evaporation rate, could be various dead space if it's volumes, could be a few different things. So have a play around with it, and when you're happy with it, if you're happy and you change it in the recipe, then you can just save it to the recipe to your user settings profile. And finally, at the end of the day, once you're packaging, we've got a little carbonation helper tool here. These are the predicted ranges for this particular style. So I'm actually going to say I want this to be carbonated with sugar. You can change that to forced carbonation as well if you're using a keg. So I'm going to say, well, carbonation temperature 20 is actually, let's say it's 21. Let's say it's 20, that's fine. 20 degrees, carbonation volume in litres. Well, I think that was about 21, wasn't it? So 21 litres. I'm going to change that to lower end because I don't want my bottles exploding. And you can see the amount below is going to change from 122 to 175. So that's the amount that you need to package that full batch there, or the amount per bottle, 3.71 for a half litre one or 2.45 for a third one. You can change the different the sugar as well to a variety of different sugars. Belgian candy syrup will need a bit more to do that, so I'm just going to keep it on table sugar. Right, that's about it for this video. Thanks very much for listening.